What up, though? Welcome back to the Beat Factory 313 War Stories podcast, and I'm your host, Juice. And let them know who we got with us today. So, Lar,
Hey, this is Raymond Carr.
how you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm well.
Let the people know a little bit about yourself, how we got here today.
Okay, let me share a little bit about myself. I'm currently incarcerated. I've been incarcerated since I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I served 32 years. I'm 51 now. So I discovered the art of writing in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And I write for a newspaper called the Detroit Nigga Sun.
Oh, okay.
My work can be found on Facebook, on Message from the Mound, and Notes from the Village. And you can find my work there. And I work galvanize minds of young people. And I participated in the youth return program that was at Ryan facility. So, you know, I try to be productive with my time. But to really get to know me, man, I got to start from the beginning.
Okay.
You know, back when I was a kid, man, I was about 8 years old, and I experienced molestation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't realize the trauma that I experienced that day would sidetrack me or derail my life of some sort. But for the most part, I lived a normal life growing up. But, you know, I experienced life-changing events. Like I just said, one of them was being molested at 8. You know, we are the sum total of all our experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So as I was growing up, you know, I experienced my parents in a domestic violence situation, police being called in, and being subject to being put in the middle of that war,
Mm-hmm.
lack of a better term. You know, my parents divorced when I was 10 years old, and I didn't realize that was a big trauma in my life. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to process how I felt about these events. And I began to cry out for help. And my cries were misunderstood as me just being bad. You know, then my badness, they put me in special ed as an alternative for my behavior and diagnosed me as learning disability and dyslexia.
Wow.
You know,
What?
So,
did you have any counseling? Did you receive any counseling? Not to cut you off. Did you receive any counseling?
They put me in counseling, right?
Okay.
But this statement that I was taught as I was growing up, as I was witnessing all these different events in my home, was what happened in this house stays in this house.
That's right.
And it was so damaging to me because I bottled everything up, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I became a pressure cooker or a ticking time bomb. And so when the counseling came in, I didn't share with them because I can't discuss with you what happened in this house, because what happens in this house stays in this house.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I kept everything that was going wrong in my life bottled up. I didn't talk about it. I didn't know how to express myself about it. And so it just like snowballed effect,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then as I got older, you know, I felt like I was caught in the middle of casualty of war. My parents, they forced nasty. You know, I lost my mother to anger because she was mad at my father and his side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Then I lost my father to substance abuse. And then it was hard for me to deal with my friends and people in the neighborhood to know that my father was on drugs.
Right.
You know, I started feeling alone and abandoned. It became painful.
So what did you turn?
My genius thinking.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's cool. In my genius thinking, I caught myself getting back at my parents by misbehaving, but only hurt myself in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, then when I turned 15, I had this great ideal to be this big dope dealer like Tony Montana in the movie Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
But I act like I didn't see the end of the movie.
Right.
You know?
So what was that journey about? What was that journey like?
Man, I would run away from home. Man, I would find myself sitting in dope houses 24/7. And experiencing grown man events at a kid's age, you know. And now that I look back and look at the textbook of the matter, that was also trauma, you know, we normalize trauma and negative behavior as normal. And I experienced a lot of things on these little hiatus or these runaways from home, and I found myself in different states trying to chase this dream of becoming rich as selling these drugs. And for the most part, it was an illusion. I made some money, but I didn't reach the goal of Tony Montana that I was searching for.
Right. Let them know some of the obstacles you was faced with on that drive of becoming Montana.
We were faced with stick-ups, people trying to murder you in these other states, and had to defend yourself.
That's right.
And you feel like you're in a war zone, and you're doing stuff or put in a position to defend yourself, and it gets ugly.
Right.
And no teenager, no child should have to be in a position to fight another grown man for survival.
That's right.
He's supposed to be enjoying life, but unfortunately, a lot of our young people, that's where we lose them at when they hit these forks in the road, and they feel like they don't have any option, or they've been forced fed these stereotypes of this is your option. This is what you do to be successful. And so I fail for every trick in the book and every stereotype I embrace. And so I thought that this was the way to life. This was the way to be able to fulfill my dreams and hopes and attain stuff. That would give me value. And I realized that I found myself trying to be somebody I wasn't. But in life, a lot of times our young people don't know who they are. So now that's the reason why we take on the stereotypical view of that was been force fed to us in our community. And we develop these cultures within our communities that leads to a dead end.
Right. So
I can attest to doing 100 miles an hour with no brakes going down the wrong way street.
So let them know how you end up catching your case. You say you caught your case at how old?
At 19.
At 19. So tell them what that experience was like.
So from the age of 15 to 19, I was basically what you would call a weekend drug dealer, because I was a part-time drug dealer, because I go and sell drugs, come back home and do my thing, come back home. And so I got robbed. I got robbed for everything I had. So now I was desperate. So I started hanging out with some bottom feeders. I say bottom feeders because they were just going out, just robbing, breaking in houses, cars, robbing people. That was out of my norm.
Right.
So I went on a robbery spree with these guys. And at the end of the day, I pulled a gun on them, robbed somebody, and the guy pulled a gun to protect himself, as anybody rightfully should. And I panicked, shot, and killed.
Okay. And was you alone? Did you have rappies on this case, or you was alone?
Nope. I didn't have any rappies on this case. Nope. It was just me.
And how did it lead to your arrest?
Well, my fingerprints were left at the scene of the crime.
Hold on, before we go, is your case over with? Can you talk about your case? Because I don't want you to talk about it if you still.
Most definitely.
Okay, bet.
Hey, listen. Yeah. So, my fingerprints were left at the scene of the crime, and they enlisted, the Detroit police enlisted some people that knew me, and got them to lie and told them that I called them and told them about the situation, which were lies.
Okay.
And that's how they convicted me of this crime. And I'm not saying that I didn't did it and I needed to be punished, but I got more time than I should have got because that was the case of the circumstances they presented in court.
Okay.
So.
And so how that fight, because I know they done changed the laws or the life of laws for the 18-year-olds, and now they working on it for the 19 and 20-year-olds. Do you fall under any of that?
Yeah. I was 19 and I'll be eligible when the Supreme Court rules in our favor, Lord willing,
Inshallah.
soon.
Okay.
And should be in the fall. And I will have the opportunity to go back and get resentenced. And to do the real work on the outside with our young people.
And what type of,
that was my heart.
okay, so talk to the young people now. What you would like to help the young people with? What you see going on in society today with today's youth? What you would like to help them with?
Like I said before, we lose a lot of our children when they reach these forks in the road in life. And I want to be able to upload their GPS system and give them information and let them know they have healthy decisions. They don't have to fall for the tricks or fall for the stereotypes that have been fed to them. They can be more than just a drug dealer or a scammer. They can be more than, and they got realistic opportunities and realistic choices they can choose from. I always sit back now in prison and say, man, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have hindsight. I wish I would have did that. I would have chose this. I was in the wrong business. But I'm showing the children now before they even make the bad decision that I made or other people have made, that listen, these are your choices. Lay these cards down before them so they can make a good life. So they don't have to make the bad decision and end up in prison, then try to recover after the fact.
So what alternatives would you present to them other than the streets, for them to get active with? Because we could point, but we got to get them something to do besides just giving them a conversation. So what actions would you take and walk them through?
Well, first of all, I would try to find out what they like to do in life, what they want to do in life, and what they like to do, and work around that. So, and give them the skills and tools or the information they would need to be successful in that regard. And so education is good. We need to be educated, but sometimes we have to find out our niche. Whether it might be in a vocational counsel, vocational trade, or some people might be fit good in going to college, depending on what they desire to be in life. But we have to find their niche and find out what they're good at, what they like to do, and work around that.
That's what's
You
up.
have 1 minute remaining.
You got to call back where we could finish it up.
Okay.
What about with the courses? When you went to course, you say they gave you more time than you should have got. Explain that a little bit.
Well, I was guilty of a crime, but I wasn't guilty of murder. I didn't mean to cause the death of this person, and they charged me with first-degree murder. I didn't mean to cause the death of the man who lost his life that evening, but I panicked. It should have been a manslaughter.
Okay. So have you tried to get back in court on them issues, or you left it where it at?
No, unfortunately, the court system I got to call you back.
All right, bet.